Today, Luther will share with us on the cable selection. And please, Luther, please teach us how to select the best quality cable, less maintenance, and easy on the pocket. So Luther, I'm passing the webinar to you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I hope that you can hear me. I'm Luther from Singapore. So basically, today, everybody is talking about savings. As well, I'll be sharing with you some insights, views from where you can obtain savings from the cables. Let me launch out my slides. Yeah, I'm still figuring out. Voila. So can everybody see my slides? So basically what I would like to share is from how you're going to save your money, basically saving money, and in terms of choosing the right cable, because many a times doing a wrong selection of cables will cause a lot of damages. And I'll show you one case example of what kind of price or cost you're looking at due to some implications. So generally, in the market, there's a lot of wide varieties of cables, coming from control, data, bus, motor cables, and many a times all of them looks very similar, identical structure, even as well as the electrical properties, and hence a lot of decisions are not very clearly thought of. And from here, when the decision is not thought of, you will have a lot of costs incurred in terms of downtime, maintenance, repair, and that will affect your profitability in the plans that you have. And many a times, all these kind of decisions, somehow or other, it comes to a purchaser's point of view, because from there, purchaser's key index is to save money, to enhance all this as much as savings that they like to get from buying some items. But there's a study that carries out within for 500 employees by a consultation firm. Actually, buying a cheap product, or the purchasers look for the cheap product to compromise in terms of the technical aspects, the reliability. Having this kind of wrong decision, end of the day, add more cost to the maintenance. And examples which I can show you to you now are some of the cable damages over time or immediately when they choose the wrong cables for selections. You will have corkscrew effect, whereby the cables look like a little corkscrew, like a worm, or cables jacket that is not well thought of, is improperly selected, and you cause abrasions. And also at the end of the day, you might have some insulation damage due to the jacket damage, and then start to rub the insulator, and this might result in machine failure, short circuit, or some equipment get blown off. At the end of the day, conductor break, and this conductor break, you will often see whereby your equipments are on automation mode, you will have single on and single off effect because of this conductor break. And many times this is not able to see drastically comparing to all these damages that you can have. A very significant example which I can show you, this many times I can see in a lot of factories, in a lot of places, they will have a lot of cables that looks like a worm. And this is not, this is an effect of wrong selections of cables that they look at when they choose the cable due to price. And from us, I'd like to give you a very simple example. There's an automation warehouse based in Cologne, and they were looking for some automation devices to store the warehousing and all that. So hence, contractors were called in to give them a full automated system of warehousing solutions. And in that solutions, the company specifically insists to use a reliable cable for their application. But sadly to say, due to the installation commissioning was so smooth and they forgot that the instruction was being given, they used the wrong Ethernet cable. And the wrong Ethernet cable is only a difference of €34 comparing to the proper one that the company intended to use. After 1 year of operation, machine breakdown, the cable broke, causes a lot of disruption. Goods cannot be delivered because it's automated warehouse. So there's a lot of controls is missing. And hence, due to the calculated cost of loss of unable to deliver goods, failure of customers' promises, and retrofitting, repair, it amounts to €148,000. So a small saving doesn't mean it's definitely beneficial. It's a really big jump in case if you have initially looked into a proper selection and you just forget about saving €34, the potential loss in the future you will not have. And this is a case study. It's quite recent and it impacted very drastically for the company. Hence, from our point of view that we like to share, there's a different jackets. Yes, many a times these illustrations you can see out in the market. Either you want to have a price advantage, then your price will be very affordable or cost optimized. But the technical advantage will be very low, which means that if you want a reliable product at the end of the day, you might need to look into the selections and probably maybe a proper cable PVC will be better than a bit more than you can afford. But at least at the end of the day, you will have a more safe solution that you will not see any failure in between. Basically, this is a comparison of a different jacket material. All the cross-sectional area is talking about 4 times 0.5 mm squared. So in other words, it's a clear illustration here that they are all electrically the same, but constructed differently due to the jacket material. And therefore, at the end of the day, you can have very good technical advantage. And this technical advantage is always emphasized and discussed upon by the engineers because the engineers know what they need, how they want to look into the systems. Hence, many a times, many companies has to have a very good balance between the purchasers and the engineers so that both parties can come to a very proper selection and harmonize between price advantage and technical advantage. So, what are the considerations for cable selections? Other than price, because at the end of the day, if you're focusing on price, you'll be falling back very badly, like what I showed you earlier, damages, failures. So, what are the advantages? What are the considerations for cable selections? So that at the end of the day, you will have a proper understanding and how you're going to look into the system. Here, I'm going to share with you some 4 tips on what you need to consider for cable selection. Number 1, ask yourself, what kind of stress is expected on site for the cable to be utilized? Number 2, what kind of movement is required for the cable to use? Maybe you can start to think about speed, acceleration, if there are any travel, distance, or torsion needed. And what are temperatures for the applications to be exposed to? Probably you're looking at indoor, outdoor, and through that, and probably you're looking into chiller room, very cold, minus 20 degrees, and all these questions have to be asked and thought about. And last but not least, a very interesting view that many a time people fail to remember or understand: what are the chemical influence that you have on your cables that you're going to use on the equipment? Probably there's a constant usage of oil. There's some chemical that is in the air that causes the cables to start to crack up. So these are the 4 things that you need to consider for cable selections. And when you ask all these questions, and simple questions like this, then you'll be able to understand, you come to a point that, yes, maybe this is not good jacket, maybe this is not good jacket. So how are you going to link these 4 questions to the jacket material? And jacket material is a science because it holds the whole cable together, and the jacket material itself is the first impact of attack before the copper conductor. And if this jacket material is not thought of carefully, many a times the cable will break, and then you will have machine stoppage, equipment production loss, breakdown, and cost in time comes, you need to do maintenance, troubleshooting, and all sorts of things comes in place. And now I'm going to give you a inside view of which jacket material is fantastic. The simpler jacket material that now everybody is having will be PVC oil resistance. It's a very simple material, best economical price in terms of usability. It has a wide range that can use on. Basically, the material itself is not very expensive. Hence, a lot of cable producers, manufacturers are using PVC oil resistance, whereby you can hear the word oil resistance means you can resist oil. And of course, in this oil resistant, they are fantastic for indoor usage, indoor usage, slight machine usage with oil. You have oil resistance. No problem. Temperature range is quite favorable. It's from -5 degrees to 70 degrees. So widely deployable to a lot of areas. And basically, if you have you have factories producing food material, packagings, PVC oil resistant cables are fantastic. And the best part, you can tell your purchaser, they are very economical for price. The next material I like to speak upon is PUR. PUR material is excellent, fantastic for machine tool, CNC machine, outdoor applications, and they are so fantastic because they are also utilized for offshore applications. Highly UV resistance, good temperature range from -25 degrees to 80 degrees. From us, we always recommend customers, if you have environment that's massively in oil, PUR will be the cable to look at, cable jacket to look at. And from us, we have materials called TPE. TPE material is very durable. We have deployed these cables out in the market for customers that are using outdoor, long travel, 400 meter, this cable travel stroke, this type of cable jacket has no issue in terms of durability, in terms of lifetime. And we have seen we have experienced customers that using this kind of jacket material up to 10 years, the cable has no issue or tear or wear. Fantastic. And also this jacket material is so fantastic that it has a very wide temperature range, ranging from -40 degrees to 100 degrees. The window of 140 degrees gap. Fantastic. So customers who have, or factories who are doing in a chiller, cold room, freezer storage, they utilize this jacket for the inside operation. So at the end of the day, if you can, in a very quick summary, different jacket material is to protect the copper and the conductors from breaking. And hence, jacket material is quite important for the whole cable construction. So many times, with the right jacket, they match with the attention they pay into, asking the simple questions, the 4 questions I just earlier said. I'll flash again. What are the stress is expected on site? What kind of movement is required? What are temperatures of the application is being exposed to? And what are the chemical influence on the application of these cables? And with these 4 questions, you link to the jacket material. And with linking to the jacket material, you will have more or less successfully selected a proper cable for utilization. If you need more info from informations or further details of knowledge understanding, feel free to visit our website. And then in the website, we have a lot of information to share with you, to let you take a look. And if you want, you can also from a website inquiry from us or more information of what you need and how we can help you for your application. So at this moment, that's all I have. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me during the Q&A session. Thank you.
From Mr. Deng, if we want to change all the cable in the factory, but we cannot do it at once, will a slow transition cause any problem?
What? Hello?
Yes?
Yeah. What do you, I don't understand the meaning of slow transitional cost.
I think is maybe they cannot done it in a once.
Oh, they cannot do it once.
They need a transition to change the they want to change the cable but cannot do it once. So will a slow transition cause any problem?
In my opinion, if they do want to replace the cables in the plant, in my opinion, I would say that start to look at the critical machine first, and then see how you want to handle from that process to the next process. I know it's very difficult and painful to change all the cables at one time, and it's a big job. So my advice is you can do it portion in phases, but at the end of the day, try to understand which is the critical portion, which is the critical process that you need, and then maybe you start to think about your critical process first, change that first, so that your production will not be impacted. Yeah, I hope that will give you some idea of what you can be done for your site.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Luther. Okay, so if you have any question, you can pop 1, 2, or depending on the request. So today I would like to thank everyone and for the fruitful sharing today. I also learned something new, some new insight, new knowledge today. I would like to explore further with the expert after this session. So thank you, Dr. Dharma, thank you, Mr. Kenji, and thank you, Mr. Luther. So I'm passing this webinar to Vishnu. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.